What's up, everyone? This is Raging Amish, and I am back.
Did you miss me?
My apologies for my absence. I had car troubles which had to be resolved. To prevent such an absence in the future, I'll be posting my reviews on Saturdays and Saturdays only. Does that mean one review a week? No. It could be 2 or hell, even 3. But they will always be on Saturday. The reason I'm doing this is because I will always keep one in reserve, meaning I'll always have at least a week leeway if I ever need it. So, let's get back to business, shall we? Today I'm here to cover the FAL. Let's just get a couple things out of the way up front. First off, I know this gun has a lot of different pronunciations. I've heard FAL and FAL, but most people affectionately know it as the FAL. Personally, I tend to call it the FAL, but to me it's just a pronunciation, and I really don't want to argue over semantics. You'll probably hear me refer to all 3 names. I'm sure there's some official way to say it. I just don't think it matters.
This guy's incorrigible.
With that said, let's get into the FAL. Unlocked at level 32, the gun is semi-automatic. With each pull of the trigger, the FAL fires 1 shot. This is capped at a fire rate of 625 RPM. Generally speaking, the gun is going to fire as fast as you can manage. 625 RPM is roughly 10 pulls of the trigger a second, and to be honest, I doubt that's humanly possible. The only way I know to match that fire rate is to get a modded controller, but Treyarch planned for that. If you actually manage to hit said fire rate, the gun jams, leaving you helpless. I'll give credit where it's due. Kudos, Treyarch. Now if we could just get you to patch a few weapons, which shall remain nameless, you'd be golden. The FAL comes with a 20-round mag. Considering the weapon's fire rate, I think this is plenty. However, you have extended mags which can up the capacity to 30. When it comes to damage, the FAL is no slouch. Each round does 50 to 40 damage, which translates to a 2 to 3 hit kill, or a 2 hit kill at any range if you manage to hit the head. This bullet damage really defines the character of the gun. You want to place quick, accurate shots, seeing as the weapon can manage a 2-hit kill. What is the range of the 2-hit kill, though, you may ask? Well, thankfully, it's actually pretty good. This damage starts to drop off at 37.5 meters and completely drops off at 50 meters. Seeing as Black Ops is mostly urban combat, you'll normally find one-on-one fights where you can drop your targets with 2 bullets. If we take a look behind the scenes, the FAL has some interesting stats working for it. To start, it has high penetration power. By default, the FAL is able to shoot through obstacles with high efficiency. Rarely will your targets escape behind cover if you have this weapon. And if you have hardened on, well, have some fun putting holes in your targets. The hipfire crosshairs, however, are a definite slight on the gun. The FAL easily has the largest crosshairs of all the assault rifles. Hip firing is at best a panic option. It's up there with the LMGs in terms of crosshair size. Moving on, the raise and drop times are pretty run-of-the-mill. The weapon raises in 0.85 seconds and drops in 0.6 seconds. The ADS time is also typical. The FAL features the standard quarter-second aim-down sight time. Sleight-of-hand pro is hardly a necessity, but certainly doesn't hurt. The reload times are as follows. The gun reloads in 2.5 seconds if the mag is not empty, or 3.1 seconds if the mag is empty. In either case, the mag enters the gun at the 2-second mark. What can I say? It's not inspiring, but it could be worse. The recoil is where things finally start to get a bit different.
Hello!
To start, the recoil profile is unique. The values come in at a value of 70 to the left and upwards, a value of 50 to the right, and a value of 20 downwards. The FAL's recoil in general goes up, and a bit to the left. The recoil profile is strong, but oddly, the kick is quite manageable. First, it's because the center speed is decent enough. Coming in at 1400, the center speed isn't exactly jaw-dropping, but gets the job done. On an automatic weapon, yeah, this would be pretty bad. But on a semi-automatic gun with a low fire rate, 1400 is plenty. The last part in managing the recoil is the irons, and I can personally say these are a huge improvement over what they were in Modern Warfare 2. I will admit I'm not a fan of the two huge prongs on the side, but the irons are usable. But now the question becomes, what attachment is proper? Well, let's find out. Extended mags. I have to be honest, I really didn't feel the need for this. Since the fire rate is so low, 20 rounds is plenty. Choosing this attachment certainly doesn't hurt though. I just think you have better choices elsewhere. Dual mags. Now here's an attachment worth looking at.
Daddy's gonna have to go kick some ass.
To start, each reload becomes a bit quicker, but more importantly, you get 2 extra starting mags. Dual mags shines on the FAL, as you'll never need scavenger. Dual mags frees up your first perk slot, and frankly fits the FAL really well. ACOG sight. I gotta tell ya, I actually kind of enjoyed the ACOG on the FAL. The FAL has really strong rounds, so the ACOG kinda makes the FAL play like a pseudo sniper. Still, it's not the most practical attachment out there. You're left very vulnerable in close quarters, so try this attachment with caution. Red dot sight, reflex sight. I can best describe these attachments as unnecessary. The irons are clean enough, so you really don't need a sight. Choosing either of these sights makes you better at long-range combat. And when you consider how good this gun is at range, using one of these sights certainly isn't a horrible idea. I'm just saying, if you can get by with the irons, you probably should. Suppressor. This attachment makes absolutely no friggin' sense on the FAL. The only reason the semi-automatic rifles have a leg to stand on in this game is their long 2-hit kill range. Take that away, and this weapon becomes useless. I don't care what stealth bonuses you're after. Just say no. Flamethrower. Bad. Grenade launcher. Really bad. Infrared scope. Master key. Okay, now here's an attachment where we can go out on a high note. I'll admit, I'm generally not a fan of the Master Key. The weapon is weak and the range is poor, even for a shotgun. As bad as it is though, it's still an improvement over the FAL's hipfire. Give it a shot. You'll be surprised how well this works if you can pull it out at the right time. Speaking of pulling it out at the right time, how about a horrible segue into the perks?
Genius. That was genius, buddy. I have chills.
To start, for your blue perk, I really must say it's your choice. Ghost for stealth, flak jacket for explosive immunity, or hardline for kill streaks. Take your pick. Just say no to scavenger and lightweight. You don't need the extra ammo, and lightweight is at best comparable to a crotchless chastity belt. For your red perk, I preferred harden, primarily for the pro effect. The reduced flinch will come in handy when you consider how important it is to stay on target. The FAL is all about getting that 2-hit kill. You need to hit your mark. I also liked Sleight of Hand. The quick reload and aim down sight time really helps the FAL up its gameplay. The reloads are and the aim down sight time is bleh. Sleight of Hand overall takes the weapon up a notch. For your green perk, I say Hacker. Since the gun has such high penetration power, I think it's wise to use a perk that will let you see equipment. You can see them coming and shoot them easily. In the grand scheme, the FAL is an interesting part of the multiplayer experience. This gun banks 100% on the 2-hit kill up to a decent range. It's nothing to laugh at, though it certainly is a very niche playstyle. I personally didn't like it. I say that because hit detection with this gun tends to be a little suspect. Few things are more frustrating than shooting at a guy only to find out the game says you missed. Putting that aside, I still say everyone should try this gun out. You may end up loving the 2-hit kill, or be frustrated by the gun's overall mediocrity. We're not quite done though. The FAL is in zombies. So, Let's see, is it any good at killing the undead? The FAL in Zombies is a decent enough rifle. The shots are relatively strong, and you have a decent enough ammo loadout. It's not exactly going to plow the road, but you'll definitely get the job done. It's worth taking from the box, but to me this is a weapon you take if you want to make money, not if you want power. If you put the weapon in the Pack-a-Punch, you get the epic win. The gun gets a 3-round burst, and you have the strongest rounds you can fire from any Pack-a-Punch assault rifle. Personally, I'm not really impressed. The ammo loadout is decent, but I just prefer automatic fire in Zombies. It's hard to say no to the high damage though, so it's your call. That concludes my review of the FAL. Hope you enjoy, and I hope you'll join me next week, where I'll be covering the M14. Until then, enjoy the FAL.